Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Disha Avdhani and today we are going to continue with our subject Human Resource Management. In last lecture we studied about what is human resource management and different aspects in the IT industry. So let's today study the challenges faced by HRM in IT industry. Today's rapidly changing business environment needs a strategic HR planning with the context of the organization's overall business plan. To cope up with the emerging requirements, maintain positive work environment and retaining the talent are few of the major challenges which every HR professional has to face to make a successful employee friendly company. Okay, so if we see in today's world, the companies are changing very fastly and especially the IT industry. Okay, every day there is new technology, every day there is something new challenging coming up in the industry of IT. Okay, so HR doesn't have to just look over the human resource that is in the company, but it also has to look over all the changes that are coming in the company very quickly and at a very fast speed. Okay, so what are the main challenges that the HR in the company has to face is retention of talent, maintaining the positive work environment and growing according to the speed and the goals of the company. Okay, next is with new challenges beyond operational HR issues, the roles and responsibility of human resource professionals are constantly evolving and expanding. Success of HR decisions depend on companies' business strategies and objectives, which in turn helps HR professionals to develop programs related to employee retention, their training and development and performance oriented rewards. So in this point, what is said is that in the IT industry, the HR is continuously evolving. There are the responsibilities of HR professionals is continuously increasing on daily basis because the IT industry is changing and evolving very fastly. Okay, so HR is not just to retain the current talented human resource that we have, but also recruit the new talents which are able to compete with all the challenges in the IT sector, who has a complete knowledge of the updated new syllabus, or you can say updated new trends in the organization or in the market of IT industry. Next is in past, issues related to wages and job securities were foremost issues of employers and employees. But now the issues like motivation, retention of workforce, mentoring, training, late night work, lesser wages, no job security, ego hassles between teams, rumors from management, dissatisfaction due to unnecessary policies, etc., are getting more common in both small and mid-sized companies. Okay, in past, if we go say approx 20-30 years ago, the problems of HR that HR followed or HR had to look forward to were issues of amount of wages that were given and job security. These two were the main issues that a company's HR policies or HR manager has to handle it. But today, these are just some petty issues. There are many more issues rather than these that company's HR has to follow or has to look forward to. They are like retention of workforce, mentoring, training to the people of the organization. The HR has to make sure that every employee in the organization knows whatever latest technology is available in the market, to have a complete and updated knowledge of the current trends in the industry, and for that all the training that is to be given by the organization to these people. Next is late night works, lesser wage, no job security, ego hassles between teams. Okay, ego is becoming a major issue in the IT industry or in IT sector. More and more people are having more and more people are having issues like ego, or issues of less motivation, or issues of trouble, you can say fights, conflicts between the people in the organization, rumors from management, dissatisfaction, or unnecessary rules and regulations which are not helping the which is not helping the people in the organization, the employees in the organization, to give their best. Okay, these all things are to be seen nowadays by HR manager. Next is proactive HR professional always make effort in understanding staffing challenges, maintaining a positive environment to ensure that team stays focused on their core jobs and stay aligned with the company's growth objectives. HR professionals need to work independently without any interference from management so that they can make better recommendations and decisions. Few of the important challenges are as follows. Okay, So what HR has to do nowadays is he or she has to make sure that the environment is very positive, that there is no struggle between people, that there is no conflicts, there is no harassment happening in the company. And next is that the employees whatever are in the company, they stay true to the company, they stay focused on the core job rather than some little jobs or petty jobs that they have to do besides their core jobs. Okay, so next we'll study actual one by one bit challenge that is faced by HRM in IT industry. First is global perspective, technological change. Current global era requires HR professionals of all industries to have a global perspective to cater the needs of managing resources in optimal way. Due to global talent crunch, they are bound to look beyond traditional ways of hiring and retaining resources. This necessitates knowing what company needs, what kind of skill sets are required, and their experience level to justify the requirement. So first is global perspective. So in today's market, there are many engineers you can say, but there are not many talented engineers. Or all the engineers, there are many engineers available in the market, but whatever the skill sets are required for the engineers in an IT company, that is a very lacking, a very big issue that companies do not get. So because of this talent crunch, there is a huge competition for hiring the best talent whatever is available in the market. Okay, so the HR in this organization of IT sector has to not just look forward for the employees, but he or she also has to look forward for the talented employees. He or she has to see forward that whatever HR we are choosing, they already know the values, they already have very good knowledge, they already are updated with whatever latest technology is available, because training and guidance cost very much in the organization, for the organization. So nowadays there is a lot of, you can say, competition in hiring human resource, not just human resource but good quality of human resource for the organization, who will give their best and who doesn't need any kind of training for the competition, for the working of in the organization. Next is culture of sharing and learning as a team. Business can only be successful if leaders and their teams are collaborating between themselves. They are learning and sharing the knowledge to grow as a single team instead of different business units. HR professionals play a key role here. During shortlisting candidates, they look for mindset who can adjust within the company environment, bring positive attitude, and potentially become a leader. Okay, the second point is culture of sharing and learning as a team. If you see in today's market, most many times we see that a person who is very well knowledge or person with a higher education level is usually a little egoistic person, or the person doesn't adjust easily with the current environment or with the rules and regulations of the company. They want to work independently. They say, I can do everything, I will do that thing, I do not need anyone's help, or I am not going to follow anyone for doing whatever I know how to do. Okay, so this is a kind of attitude that HR professionals do not want in the organization. HR professionals is looking for people who can adjust a little bit, who can work in a team. They shouldn't be very much egoistic, they shouldn't be very much angry, or you can say they shouldn't be very you can say arrogant in the organization. They should be able to work in a teams. They should be a good leaders, because when there is a good leader, they are the subordinates of the organization would also be very good. Okay, so HR professionals work over here is to make sure that the human resource whatever we have in the organization, the employees whatever we have in the organization, collaborate with each other very nicely. The environment in the organization is happy and fun-filling and fulfilling, and you can say energetic, in which everyone coordinates with each other. There is cooperation level in the organization. So human resource manager or HR professional has to make sure that there is a friendly environment in the organization. Okay, next is employee and knowledge retention. IT is growing rapidly, and lot of successful ventures are launching to grab the share of this blooming industry. In this cutthroat competition, HR professionals are required to develop a strategy that can retain the talent. Training new talent, knowledge sharing, a costly affair, and good companies are willing to go extra miles to save talent and maintain a growing and positive work environment. So this is another major challenge in IT sector for HR professionals. Okay, IT industry is growing very fastly. Today there's every day there is new technology coming up. Every day there are hundreds of new apps coming up in the marketplace, and everybody's competing at a very high cutthroat competition. Okay, so in this blooming industry, it is a work of HR manager to retain its talent. Retain means what? To not let the to not let the talented human beings leave our organization, to not let the employees leave our organization. Retention of talented workforce, or you can say employees, is another very important task for an organization. Why is it important? Because when you have talented workforce, whenever you have talented employees, they do their best and your organization can succeed at a better rate than others. Okay, so this is important for HR organizations. It is important for HR manager or HR professional to retain the employee and knowledge of the company. So it means what? Knowledge retention means what? The secrets or the core competencies of the organization shouldn't be leaked outside. The knowledge whatever we have, the special knowledge due to which the company is having such a good place in the market, should stay inside the company. It shouldn't go outside the company. And the people or the IT specialists, whoever are working within the organization, shouldn't leave the organization. And for that, HR manager has to give them compensatives. For that, HR managers has to give them some extra bonuses, extra rewards, or extra motivation, because of which the people do not wish to leave the organization. He has to make a place a work friendly. HR manager has to have make the workplace in such a way that the IT professionals feel that they belong to this industry. There should be a feeling of belongingness, due to which the IT professionals won't leave the organization. And in this cutthroat competition, there are many big industries that are willing to spend a lot of money to retain their organization's HR. So it is very important for the HR in the organization, HR manager in the organization, to save their employees from going outside or in any other company. Next is cross-functional resource balance. It is necessary for HR professionals of those businesses that are operating across the globe to maintain a balance between benefits given to workforce deployed at different client locations and those placed at main development center of the company. In addition to this, balance is required between those who have been working from years and those who have joined recently. Okay, here if we take an example, we will take an example of Tata company. Okay, Tata, or you can say, let's say, Infosys company for that sake, because Infosys is an IT company. So Infosys company doesn't work only in India, it works in different countries also. So what is the challenge of HR over here? What is the challenge of human resource manager over here? Is to make sure the whatever benefits we are giving a person employed in India and a person employed in some foreign country are almost equal, or are some proportionate to whatever area that they are living in. Okay, in America there is high rate of expenses, so according to that level, according to GDP, or you can say according to the cost of living, the person in that country gets their income, and according to the cost of living in India, that person gets their income. But also, if they both are on the same position, there is not a big amount of difference in the income that they receive. Example, if in India there is an IT professional working at, let's say, manager level, he gets income of, let's say, 50,000 per month. Okay, in America, when that person goes in America, if that post is available in that place, he should maximally get 60,000 per month rather than 70 or 80,000, because cost of living in America is more as compared to India. So it should be proportionate to the whatever working place and whatever cost of living that is in the particular city of where the employee is working. Okay, the next is, in addition to this, balance is required between those who have been working for years and those who have joined recently. This is another important point. Okay, suppose an XYZ IT professional who is working in a company from, let's say, past 10 years, and there's one new who is joined recently, let's say this month only. Okay, the 10-year working professional should have proper income, as relatively better income as compared to who is joined today. Even though today's HR even though today's employee knows more than the HR who is working from last 10 years, but the income of the who is working 10 years ago, from 10 years is more, little bit more, because he has good level of experience, because that person knows about the company very well, because that person has been loyal to the company. Okay, so there should be a proportionate balance between who is working from years and who has joined recently. Okay, next is protect resources from exploitation. In this competitive market, searching for a talent within limited budgets is challenging and time consuming task. HR professionals expected to utilize one resource on multiple projects. While focusing on return on investment, HR professionals ensure that resources are cross trained on different skill sets and can do multitasking without being exhausted. They also define the process and metrics to track the training results for improvement in training materials. Okay, what is here point is protect resource from exploitation. In today's cutthroat competition, the IT companies also have a limited budget. They cannot go exceeding the budget, because that will affect the profit, that will affect the total income of the organization. The return on investment should be one of the focus while expending whatever expenses whatever a company is making. So here what does the company do? It makes sure that there is minimum HR and that does maximum work. But here it is also important to ensure that there is no exploitation of HR or employees that is happening that are available in our organization. Okay, so within limited budgets, the HR manager or the organization is trying to take out maximum output from the people working in the organization. Here they give them different kinds of different kinds of training, in which they don't do as a core jobs, but also some petty jobs around that core job. Okay, but HR manager also has to make sure that they are not exploited, that there is you can say the amount of work they do is proportionate to the income they are going to receive, and that the employees in the organization are not exploited. Next is compliance with laws and regulations. Keeping up with changing employment laws is a struggle for HR manager. Many laws regarding workplace discrimination, wages and hours, employee benefits, immigration laws, work safety, etc. affect the smooth working of a company. Within the budgets and targets, it becomes a major challenge for HR professionals. This is another, you can say, major challenge that HR has to face, that HR has to follow all the rules and regulations given by the government and by the organization. What laws and regulations does the government give? It is employee benefit. Employee benefit means that person and the employees whatever are working in the organization, they have their pension scheme, or they have their gratuity scheme, or that they have some future safety when they retire. Okay, when a person, suppose XYZ employee works for 40 years in your organization, and at age of 60 he or she retires, let's say, then after retirement he or she should have some amount that can be used for after the you can say retirement. Means what? That there is some kind of pension fund, or some kind of investment made for that employee, little bit from their income and little bit from the company's income, which they can use during their retirement for the expenditure and living. Okay, next is workplace discrimination. In workplace discrimination, there is sexism, there is casteism, there is the employers treating their subordinates badly or rudely. Again, next is wages and hours. In wages and hours, it comes that there should not be exploitation of all the employees, that how much work is given, the appropriate amount of income should be given to them. Next is immigration laws. Immigration laws is also another important point. If we are hiring a professional from outside of the country, or if our company is going outside of if we are taking a human resource and giving and putting that human resource in other company or in foreign branch of the organization, all the immigration laws are followed, because everywhere there are different kinds of HR policies. Every country has different set of laws and regulations that a company needs to follow. So the HR manager should know all the immigration laws. The HR manager should know the laws and regulations in all the countries in which the branches of the organization are. Next is workplace safety. In workplace safety, you can say there is safety to sanitization safety, after which there is a proper safety in which the person, let's say in IT sector, that there is proper you can say electrical work done, that during working on computers the computer doesn't blast, or computer is remains safe, the project whatever they are doing keeps is protected from virus or all these things. So this workplace safety, all these things, proper sanitization, proper health benefits, proper, you can say, transportation, these all things are taken care by human resource. And this comes a challenge, because these all laws are to be followed within a budget. If we go to follow so many rules and regulations, it is bound to have many expenditure. So HR has a big challenge of following all these rules and regulations, plus having them all in our budget. Okay. Next is workforce training and development. This is another, and you can say a specific IT challenge. Not just specific means what, highlighting challenge in IT sector. Okay, workforce training and development. Because in today's market there are many engineers, but they are not up to mark, or they do not have the talent, all the talents and skill sets that a company requires. Okay, investing in training and development of employees is another common HR problem. Some business have trouble finding the resources to do so. Employees on the front line are some of your hardest workers and may not have time to take training courses. Okay, and this the organization's employees which are already working, they have so much of workload that they may or may not get time to train and develop the organizations current with the new workforce that is being hired in the organization. So investing in the trainers who are going to train them very well is another challenge for an HR manager, because that is going to cost a lot of money for the company. Okay, so not just finding a good talent is important, but also when you find a good talent, training them according to the needs of the organization, or molding them according to the organization's capacities or organization's shape is also another task for HR manager. Okay, next is workplace diversity. An important challenge that human resource managers face involve the workforce diversity, that is the increasing heterogeneity of organization within the inclusion of employees from different groups such as women, physically disabled, backward classes, ethnic group, etc. What do you mean by workplace diversity? Diversity, when we see the word, it means different kind of things, different kind of people. And diversity means what? There are people from lower caste, there are people from higher caste, there are people who are women, there are people who are men, there are people who are physically disabled, there are people who are physically fit, there are people from some lower caste with very poor backgrounds. Okay, these different kind of people, when they come together, that it is a need of HR manager, it is a need of the company that they all work smoothly together, that there is coordination between these people in the organization. So this workplace diversity is making that smooth, that people do not fight with each other, that people do not treat each other like they are, you can say, not worth it, or they are some kind of lower people. That care is to be taken by HR manager. HR manager has to make sure that everyone cooperates with each other, that whatever diversity is there. Suppose let's take an example. There is a company, let's take an IT company which has different branches all over India. Okay, and there is there is one XYZ person working in Bombay, and that he has been shifted from Bombay to Kerala. Okay, so that person who lives in Bombay knows only Marathi, Hindi, and English languages. And in Kerala, people know whatever the regional language, Telugu, Tamil, whatever the regional language there is, that on there, and English and Hindi. So adjustment of that Mumbai person in Kerala is to be looked by the HR manager. The HR manager has to see that the Mumbai person, whoever is going into Kerala, has is easily being molded into that organization's environment, that he doesn't have a problem in working in that environment, because language is becoming a major problem. Even the English, Hindi are basic languages every Indian knows, almost every Indian knows, but it is a major challenge to to mold yourself into that environment. Okay, not just the working environment, but also the non working, or you can say informal places. That person does not have any trouble to adjust in. Okay, so thank you for listening. This is the end of the slideshow. Next we'll study another way.